Sinomach High International Equipment Co., Ltd. Operation and Maintenance Instructions for Backhoe Loader 620CH. Dear customers, welcome to choose Sinomach Backhoe Loader 620CH. For your better using experience, we will introduce the operation and maintenance instructions of Backhoe Loader 620CH in every detail. Sinomach is committed to bringing you the most comfortable working experience and maximum benefits. This video includes following 4 chapters. Chapter 1 Machine Structure. Chapter 2 Safety Instruction. Chapter 3 Operational Instruction. Chapter 4 Maintenance Instruction. Chapter 1 Machine Structure. Nameplate and seal number of the whole machine. Frame. Front counterweight. Loading boom. Loading boom cylinder. Boom safety support. Grab bucket. Bucket dump cylinder. Clamping cylinder. Engine hood. Engine. Engine nameplate. Windshield washer reservoir. Brake oil cup. Radiator. Exhaust pipe. Air pre-filter. Hydraulic oil tank. Hydraulic oil inlet filter. Battery box. Main power switch. Front drive axle. Front axle nameplate. Steering cylinder. Rear drive axle. Rear axle nameplate. Outrigger. Outrigger cylinder. Outrigger sensor. Bidirectional hydraulic lock. Sliding shelf. Locking cylinder. Digging boom. Digging boom cylinder. Digging rod. Arm cylinder. Telescopic arm. Telescopic arm cylinder. Digging bucket. Bucket cylinder. Bucket linkage. Reserved pipeline for optional working device. Rotary structure. Digging boom swing cylinder. Digging boom locking mechanism. Fuel tank. Fuel heating system. Hydraulic pump. Torque converter and transmission. Transmission nameplate. Front drive shaft. Rear drive shaft. Steering priority valve. Loading control valve. Digging control valve. Hydraulic return filter. Cabin. Seat. Loading operating lever. Clutch cutoff switch. Rear axle differential lock switch. Grab bucket operating lever. Parking brake handle. Hand throttle control lever. Hydraulic outrigger alarm. Boom, swing operating handle. Telescopic arm extend button. Horn button. Arm, bucket operating handle. Telescopic arm retract button. Lateral excavation device unlock switch. Left outrigger oil cylinder operating handle. Right outrigger oil cylinder operating handle. Digging boom locking mechanism operating lever. Instrument panel. Air conditioner control switch. Rear wiper switch. Instrument light switch. Rear working light switch. Rear wiper spray switch. Cabin top warning light switch. Transmission shift lever. Clutch cutoff switch. Accelerator pedal. Service brake pedal. Fuel heating switch. Hydraulic system switch. Travel direction selection handle. Combination switch, including front working light, front wiper spray, steering indicator. Horn button. Front working light switch. Hazard light switch. Drive mode selector switch. Chapter 2 Safety Instruction. Do not change the machine configuration without permission or authorization from our technical team. Sinomach is not responsible for the safety problem or economic loss caused by that. Carefully read the operation manual. Recognize safety information and follow operation and maintenance instructions. Understand the caution and safety signals. Machine lifting point. Ensure that the lifting equipment has sufficient lifting capacity and that no one is under the machine during lifting. Pay attention to the balance of the machine during lifting. Use wire rope or chain to connect the lifting points for lifting. Danger of rotating parts. It is forbidden to approach rotating parts. The engine must be stopped when repairing surrounding parts. Risk of boom falling. It is not allowed to stand under the boom. Be sure to lock the boom with safety support if necessary. Maintenance safety warning. There is a risk of explosion and being crushed. Please read the operating procedures carefully to avoid injury before operating the machine. Collision and crushing hazard warning. Starting the machine in a non-neutral state will cause serious injury. The machine can be started only when it is in neutral and the driver seated. Seatbelt warning. Please use your seatbelt at all times. Do not jump out of the cabin to avoid crushing when the machine overturns. Machine overturning warning. If the digging device is overloaded, the machine may roll over. Safety warning of machine for transportation and operation. When transporting the machine, put the digging device to the safety locking position and lock the digging device with the center pin. Please note that the outrigger may be interfered when the digging device rotates to the leftmost or rightmost position. Danger warning of crushing by digging device. It is forbidden to enter here. People will be hurt when turning. The machine can only be started and operated when seated in the cabin. Do not place other objects around the cabin. Digging device hazard warning. Keep away from the machine when it is working. Safety tips. Fully understand the working area before operating the machine, avoid the digging device from touching underground cables and water pipes, and keep away from high-voltage lines during operation. Before adjusting the seat to the direction of the digging device, shift into neutral and pull up the parking brake handle. When checking the coolant, slowly loosening the radiator cap until the system temperature lower down, otherwise the high-temperature coolant will spray out and get burnt. It is not recommended to use the hand throttle for any other operation except the digging device, otherwise an accident may be caused. Before driving the machine, carefully observe whether there are any people around, press the horn and start the running machine smoothly. Due to the heavy weight of the digging device, special attention should be paid to the balance at the front and rear of the machine. Try to avoid sudden braking and sudden steering in driving on large slope. People should stay away from the machine working area, especially the area covered by the excavation device. The machine can move freely when the clutch cutoff button is pressed. If necessary, use the brake to stop the movement of the machine. Before operating the machine, be sure to fasten the seatbelt. If the machine rolled over but seatbelt not fastened, you might be injured by the fallen machine. When getting on and off the machine, you must use the foot pedal and handrail by facing the machine. Please do not jump on or off the machine, otherwise injury might be caused. Before driving on the road, the left and right brake pedals must be locked, otherwise accident might be occurred. When the machine is moving, the bucket is about 40 centimeters above the ground to maintain the stability of the machine and good sight. Before operating the digging device, drop the outriggers on both sides to support the machine. Otherwise the stability of the machine will be affected. When operating the machine on a slope, try to avoid steering in full load operation. The forward gear shall be selected when going uphill and the reverse gear shall be selected when going downhill, otherwise the machine may tip over. If it is a must to park the machine on a slope, the back side of the machine should face to the slope, place the loading bucket on the ground and tighten the parking brake. Retract the outrigger before driving, otherwise scratch accident might be caused. Speeding may cause the machine to lose control. Do not coast in neutral when going downhill. Keep driving at a low speed on the slope, otherwise accident might be caused. Never dig the ground under the outriggers, otherwise collapse and overturn of the machine might be caused. The front and rear tires of the machine are tubeless tires. The rated air pressure of the front tire is 4.4 bar and the rated air pressure of the rear tire is 2.4 bar. The correct tire pressure can ensure the service life of the tire and the driving stability of the machine. Excessive tire pressure may cause tire explosion, resulting in serious personal injury. Chapter 3 Operational Instruction. Introduction to Functions of Cabin Components. Adjustable seat, height. Swivel. Resilience. Backrest. Front and rear. Loading operating lever, backward. Lifting the loading boom, forward. Lowering the boom, left. Turning the bucket inward, right. Turning the bucket outward. Clutch cutoff button, press the clutch cutoff button, the output power from the transmission is cut off. And all the power of the engine is used for working, which improves the efficiency of loading. Differential lock button, press the differential lock button. The rear axle differential mechanism will be locked, and the rear wheels on both sides keep the same speed. Grab bucket operating handle. Forward. Grab bucket open. Backward. Grab bucket closure. Travel direction selection handle, forward. Forward gear, middle. Neutral gear, backward. Reverse gear. Shift lever. Press the clutch cutoff button. The transmission power output will be cut off, shift. Release the button, and the transmission will resume power output. First gear. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. Four-wheel drive selection switch. Press the four-wheel drive selection switch, so that the front and rear output shafts of transmission output power at the same time to realize the four-wheel drive of the machine. After the switch is reset, the machine returns to two-wheel drive mode. Brake pedal lock, release the pedal lock. And the left and right pedals can be used separately in order to achieve a smaller turning radius. Note, for safety, it is forbidden to release the brake pedal lock when the machine is in normal driving state. Outrigger cylinder operating lever, left. Drop outrigger, right. Retract outrigger. Stick, swing operating handle, forward. Lifting stick, backward. Dropping stick, left. Digging device rotates to the left, right. Digging device rotates to the right. Arm, bucket operating handle, forward. Dropping boom, backward. Lifting boom, left. Turning bucket inward, right. Turning bucket outward. Press and hold the button on the left side of the stick and swing the operating handle, and the telescopic arm on the upper part of the stick will stretch out. Press and hold the button on the right side of the boom and bucket operating handle, and the telescopic arm will retract. The digging device of the 620ch loader can move left and right laterally so as to stay in a suitable position, and it can walk and operate safely and reliably. Press and hold the button on the left side of the boom and bucket operating handle to unlock the loading device. And then operate the excavating device. Let the bucket bear against the ground and turn outwards, so that the excavating device moves slowly to reach the required stop position. Digging boom locking mechanism operating lever. The operation steps of releasing the digging device are as follows. First, take out the locking pin shaft of the rotary device, turn the digging device to the middle position. Then support the rear axle of the machine with the outrigger, operate the hand throttle to keep the engine running at medium speed. Finally, tighten the operating lever of the locking mechanism backward with the right hand. At this time, the left hand operates the lower boom. Then the digging device is released. The operation steps of locking the digging device are as follows. Firstly, use the outrigger to support the rear axle of the machine, then move the digging device to the middle position, keep the boom and stick straight, and operate the hand throttle to keep the engine running at medium speed. Finally, tighten the operating lever of the locking mechanism backward. with right hand and lift the boom with the left hand. When the boom is lifted to the limit position, quickly push the locking mechanism operating lever by right hand and drop the locking mechanism, so that the digging device locked. Running in of new machine. The new machine needs to take 100 hours of run-in operation to achieve its design performance. Please follow the 3 steps during the first 100 hours to avoid overloading. Within 50 hours. About 60. Within 100 hours. About 80. After 100 hours. Full power. Overload will reduce the potential performance of the machine and shorten the service life of the machine. The engine oil level, fuel level, coolant level, transmission oil level, drive axle oil, hydraulic oil level, and leakage situation should be checked daily during the 100-hour run-in period. Grease should be daily added to all lubrication points. After 50 hours of operation of the new machine, the engine oil, oil filter and fuel filter need to be replaced. Inspection before starting. Check all parts of the machine for traces of oil leakage and water leakage. Check whether the fixing bolts of important parts are loose. Check the engine oil level, coolant level, hydraulic oil level and transmission oil level to ensure that they are within the normal range. Turn on the main power switch. Check and make sure there are no person around the machine. Starting. Get into the cabin, adjust the seat to a comfortable position, adjust the mirror, fasten the seat belt. Confirm that the travel direction selection handle and all operating levers are in the neutral position. When starting the engine, first turn the key to the power on position and check the instrument status. After confirming that it is normal, turn the key to the start position. Release the key immediately after the engine is running, and it will automatically return to the power on position. The key should not be in the starting position for more than 20 seconds. If the engine is not running, stop for 2 minutes before starting again. After starting, we need to check whether all the warning lights on the instrument panel have gone out. Whether all instruments work normally as well as the smoke color and running sound of the engine exhaust pipe in normal. Please note that it is not allowed to increase the engine speed immediately after starting, otherwise the engine and turbocharger will be damaged. If an alarm prompt is found on the instrument panel, please stop the machine immediately for inspection and troubleshooting. The engine needs to be preheated at low speed for 5 minutes. When the coolant temperature reaches more than 45 degrees Celsius, the engine speed can be gradually increased. Please do not run the engine at idle speed for a long time, which will lead to low engine temperature, reduce the working efficiency of the engine and cause engine failure. Engine shutdown. If the engine suddenly stops running before cooling, the engine life may be greatly shortened. Therefore, do not shut down suddenly except in an emergency. Especially if the engine is overheated, do not shut down suddenly. Run it at medium speed, let it cool gradually, and then shut down. Put the bucket on the ground, lock the digging device and confirm that the travel direction selection handle and all operating levers are in the neutral position. The engine needs to run at idle speed for 5 minutes before shutdown. Turn the ignition key to the off position, turn off the main power switch, and lock the cabin door. Chapter 4 Maintenance Instruction. Periodic maintenance for engine. Check fuel level, engine oil level, coolant level, cleanliness of radiator surface, tightness of alternator belt before starting the engine every day. The engine oil and filter need to be replaced after 50 hours of new engine operation and replaced the engine oil every 250 hours thereafter. The engine oil capacity is 11 liters. If the ambient temperature is -20 degrees to 40 degrees, it is recommended to use SAE 15W40 engine oil. If the ambient temperature is lower than -20 degrees, it is recommended to use SAE 5W20 engine oil. The fuel filter should be replaced every 500 hours. Drain the water from the bottom of the fuel filter every day before work. The capacity of the fuel tank is 151 liters. Air filter. Take out the external air filter element and clean it from inside to outside with high-pressure air every week, and check whether the filter element is damaged. If necessary, please replace the filter element in time. Please note that the inner air filter can only be replaced with a new one, not cleaned. It requires shorter maintenance intervals if the machine working in dusty environments. After cleaned and used for 3 to 5 times, the external air filter needs to be replaced at the same time. Coolant. Check the liquid level of the coolant level of the radiator every week. The coolant shall be replaced every 2000 hours. Note that the coolant of the same model shall be used and shall not be mixed. The coolant capacity of Weichai engine is 17.5 liters, and that of Cummins engine is 19 liters. Periodic maintenance for hydraulic system. Check the hydraulic oil level every 50 hours. The capacity of the hydraulic oil tank is 60 liters. Replace the hydraulic oil and hydraulic oil filter element every 1000 hours. Hydraulic oil with viscosity grade 46 is recommended for ambient temperatures ranging from -20 degrees to 35 degrees. Hydraulic oil with viscosity grade 68 is recommended for ambient temperatures ranging from -10 degrees to 40 degrees. Periodic maintenance for transmission system. The transmission oil tank capacity is 18.5 liters. Mobile 424 oil is recommended. Check the transmission oil level every week. Replace the transmission oil inlet filter element and oil return filter element every 1000 hours. Clean the transmission breather every 1000 hours. Periodic maintenance for front drive axle. The capacity of oil in the main drive is 6 liters. The capacity of oil on each wheel side is 0.8 liters. Mobile 424 oil is recommended. Check the oil level and clean the breather every 250 hours. Replace the drive axle oil every 1000 hours. Periodic maintenance for rear drive axle. The capacity of oil in the main drive is 14 liters. The capacity of oil on each wheel side is 1.5 liters. Mobile 424 oil is recommended. Check the oil level and clean the breather every 250 hours. Replace the drive axle oil every 1000 hours. Continuous use of the service brake may cause oil temperature increase in the rear drive axle. When the rear axle oil temperature reaches 152 degrees Celsius, the rear axle oil temperature alarm lamp will turn on. If the warning light is on all the time, please shift into low gear to drive or stop and wait for the oil temperature to drop. Periodic maintenance for air conditioner system. Every 1000 hours, remove the cover plate, take out the air conditioner filter element and wash it with water. Filling of lubrication grease. The pin shafts of the working attachment and the main pin of front drive axle shall be filled with grease every 50 hours. Distribution of lubrication points. Loading device 28 points. Digging device 27 points. Front drive axle 4 points. Front drive shaft 3 points. Rear drive shaft 3 points.